It's finally over. The debates and rage sparked by the early leaks of Columbina's kit claiming that she could not enable lunar reaction on her own. But her full kit is finally here, guys. Some people are quite satisfied with her kit, but there are also many who dislike it and even compare this Hydro Archon in quotes to the real Hydro Archon. But what exactly does Columbina's kit looks like? If you are curious, make sure to watch this video until the end, and if you already know, feel free to share this video with your friends. So let's start Columbina's kit breakdown. Columbina is a limited 5-star Hydro Catalyst character, and she's essentially the one who could be crowned as the Archon in quotes for the Not Cry patch. She's a support character designed for units that rely on lunar reactions as their main source of damage, because Columbina can enhance all lunar reactions through her ultimate. Columbina can also apply Hydro quite consistently through her elemental skill, and this skill can record several lunar reactions that are triggered. Later, Columbina will unleash all the recorded lunar reactions, dealing the highest recorded reaction damage based on her max HP. And here's the part you no longer need to worry about. Columbina can enable lunar reactions on her own, which basically means her team compositions are actually quite flexible. For her normal attack, there's nothing particularly special. Columbina simply performs 3 consecutive strikes. What actually makes her unique is her charge attack, which gives her the potential to be played as a main DPS. For every 1 Verdundu your team has, her charge attack transforms into a special version that does not consume stamina. When used, Columbina unleashes 3 instances of AoE Dendro damage, and these hits are treated as Lunar Bloom damage. Moving on to her elemental skill, she creates a gravitational ripple that continuously follows your active character, attacking and applying Hydro in a consistent AoE. Every 2 seconds, whenever a party member triggers lunar reactions or deal lunar reaction damage, Columbina gains 20 gravity. She can store up to 60 gravity. Once the gauge is full, she releases tidal interference based on the most accumulated lunar reaction type. This means the interference can only be triggered after 3 lunar reactions have occurred in combat. If the accumulated type is lunar charge, Columbina deals AoE electro damage, treated as lunar charge damage. If it's lunar bloom, she fires 5 green fruits at nearby enemies. And if it's lunar crystallize, she deals AoE geo damage, treated as lunar crystallized damage. As for her elemental burst, she creates a domain similar to Nahida's burst. Inside this field, all lunar reaction damage from your characters is increased. Columbina's burst costs 60 energy, has a 15-second cooldown, and lasts for 20 seconds. So with enough energy support, her ultimate can essentially have 100% uptime. Her first talent gives Columbina an additional 8% crit rate every time tidal interference from her elemental skill is triggered. This effect can stack up to 3 times, meaning she gets a free 24% crit rate for herself. Her second passive enhances several lunar reactions when your characters are inside the domain created by her elemental burst. For example, for lunar charge, the interval of storm cloud attacks is reduced by 0.5 seconds, which means more lunar charge reactions can be triggered. Meanwhile, for lunar bloom, your team gains mountain moon Verdundu up to 3 stacks every 18 seconds, raising your maximum Verdundu stacks to 6. And for the newest reaction, lunar crystallize, each lunar ward or cage or totem in resonance has a 33% chance to strike again. For those of you who don't know, Crystallize received a new variant called Lunar Crystallize, which only happens when Geo and Hydro come into contact. With character capable of enabling Lunar Crystallize, every Crystallize produced by these 2 elements is converted into 3 Lunar Ward, essentially a Geo totem. When 3 Lunar Crystallize reactions occur, each totem resonates, then attack, dealing AoE Geo damage counted as Lunar Crystallize damage. Now thanks to Columbina's ultimate, each resonated totem still has a chance to attack one more time, before needing to trigger Crystallize again. Her third passive finally removed the biggest concern players had, the fear that Columbina would not be able to enable her own lunar reactions. Now it's confirmed, yes, she can enable her own lunar reactions without requiring any Not Cried characters. Not only can she convert regular Electrocharge, Bloom, and Crystallize into their lunar versions, but she also increases the damage of those reactions based on her max HP. Every 1000 max HP increases base lunar reaction damage by 0.2% with a maximum of 7%. So yes, you need around 35k HP to get the full buff. Oh, and when Columbina is in your team, she also increases your moonsign level by 1. Then we have the special passive, which I personally find not very useful. She can revive any fallen character in your party and heal them according to your friendship level with Columbina, but only within the Not Cry region. I have seen a lot of people misunderstand this. They think the passive only works on Not Cry characters, when in reality, it works on every character from all of Tevat. It just only activates when you are physically in the Not Cry region. It's interesting but kind of useless, right? Now let's take a look at her constellations. For C1, the first time she uses her elemental skill, she will immediately trigger a tidal interference, and this effect can only occur once every 15 seconds. After that, several interference effects also receive enhancements, as long as your party's moon sign level is Ascendant Gleam. For Lunar Charge, it restores 6 elemental energy to the active character, which is great for Flames. For Lunar Bloom, Columbinas increases the active character's interruption resistance for 8 seconds, supposedly meant for never, but unfortunately this is locked behind Columbina's C1. And for Lunar Crystallize, she grants a shield to the character with strength equal to 12% of Columbina's max HP. Her C2 increases the accumulation speed of gravity points from her skill by 34%. And Columbina also gains additional 30% max HP every time tidal interference is triggered. Then when your team is inside the domain created by her elemental burst, the active character gains a lunar bonus based on the dominant lunar reaction type triggered. If it's Lunar Charge, increases the character's attack, and if it's Lunar Bloom, increases their elemental mastery. And then for Lunar Crystallize, increase their defense. All of these bonuses scale with Columbina's max HP. At C4, Columbina restores 4 elemental energy to herself every time an interference occurs. She also increases lunar reaction damage of this interference based on her max HP. Then at 6-6, when inside her domain and after triggering lunar reaction, Columbina increases the crit damage of corresponding elemental type for all party members by 80%. So technically, Columbina's base kit does not require the Ascendant Gleam moon sign level. But what actually pushes her into forming a team comps with 2 not quite characters is her artifact set and her constellations. Her signature weapon comes with 88% crit damage. Its passive grants the wearer 10% bonus max HP. Then, every time they trigger a lunar reaction or deal lunar reaction damage to an enemy, the user will restore 12 elemental energy and gain the Wine of Bountiful Sea effect, which provides an additional 14% max HP and 60% crit damage, specifically for lunar reaction damage. This effect can be triggered even when the weapon's user is off-field. So in my opinion, the value of the signature weapon is actually better than C1, and getting a total of 148% crit damage just from this weapon alone is crazy. And now who exactly can synergize well with Columbina? Let's talk about that in the next section. Since Columbina is a support for not quite characters by increasing the damage of all types of lunar reactions, it's obvious that she will naturally synergize with Flames, Never, and Loma. With Columbina's arrival in patch 6.3, we can finally complete a premium lunar charge team. This team consists of Flames as the main DPS, Ineva as a support and sustain, Sucrose as a support who provides an elemental mastery boost, and Columbina here acts as a both support and hydro applier, and also a sub DPS thanks to the tidal interference from her elemental skill. She can even reduce the interval of the Electro Cloud so Lunar Charge can be triggered more frequently. She's basically an upgrade over Aino in this team. The second team is the premium Lunar Bloom team, made up of Columbina, Never as the main DPS, Loma as a support using the Silken Moon Serenade set, and Nahida with Deepwood Memories for Dendo Shreds. Although this setup may feel uncomfortable for some players, you can replace Nahida with other sustain options, maybe Yahoda or even Baiju if you have him. And since Columbina can also enable Lunar Crystallize, she can now act as a support or sub DPS for a premium Geo Lunar team. This one can include Jibai as the main Lunar Crystal DPS, Iluga as Geo support who also provide defense boost, and Jolie for sustain. As for Jibai and Luga's kits, I will likely cover them in another video, so stay tuned guys. But there are still other team options we can explore with Columbina. After learning that she can enable lunar reactions on her own, and with her Hydro application looking quite good and consistent, we can form a triple lunar reactions team. This one consists of Columbina herself, Albedo who can trigger Crystallize consistently, Fischl whose passive now works for Lunar Charge, and Loma to enhance the Lunar Bloom damage from Columbina's charge attack. With a team like this, you will activate 2 special resonance. Your moonsign level becomes Ascendant Gleam, which helps boost Columbina's charge attack crits from Loma's passive and fully maximize the new artifact set coming later for her. And also the Hexorite resonance is active. With this team, you get a Geo Totem dealing Lunar Crystallize, Extra Verdant Dew to fuel Columbina's charge attack, and Thunder Clouds dealing Lunar Charge. So aside from the teams I have mentioned, who else do you think can synergize well with Columbina? Let me know in the comments. So overall, Columbina's kit actually quite satisfying. She's pretty decent and definitely not disappointing. The most important thing to take note of is that she can enable her lunar reactions on her own, without relying on another not quite characters to do it. And this opens up a lot more possibilities when it comes to future team building. Columbina also is not just a Hydro applier, she can act as a sub DPS thanks to the tidal interference from her elemental skill, which helps deal lunar reaction damage every 5 seconds. She also gives Never a massive upgrade in damage output, because Never can now use the special Verdant Dew stacks to empower her charge attacks. On top of that, Columbina herself can also benefit from the extra Verdant Dew stacks, giving her high potential as a main DPS. Her charge attacks are stamina free and are treated as AoE Lunar Bloom damage. Her burst also has a moderate energy cost, not too high, and with its potential 100% uptime, she can offer consistent buffs to all lunar reaction damage. However, even though she can synergize with teams outside of Notcry, she still needs at least one other Notcry character to reach Ascendant Glee Moonshine level. This is because her best artifact set strongly encourages running 2 Notcry characters, so Columbina can get the full 60% lunar reaction boost. What makes Columbina feel somewhat restricted and less flexible is not actually her kit, but the fact that lunar reactions only exist for 3 elements. We don't have lunar swirl or lunar vape, so that naturally limits the scope of her team compositions. What else do you think should be added to this pros and cons section? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And that wraps up the Columbina kit breakdown. What do you guys think of her? Are you satisfied or not impressed? If you enjoyed this content, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications too, because next I'll be uploading breakdowns for Jibai and Iluga. So see you all in the next one. Bye bye!